Greetings. This is Justin Allen with the Elite Nurse Practitioner. Welcome to the Elite Nurse Practitioner Show, a podcast dedicated to nurse practitioner entrepreneurism and achieving financial freedom, where I talk directly with nurse practitioners who need help. Listen up, our market is saturated. Jobs can be scarce. We are underpaid. We are undervalued. We are taken advantage of by the sharks within the healthcare system, and frankly, screw that. Sick of it, and it's time for a change. And listen, I'm here to help make that happen. We are powerful. We can forge a path where we are in control of our career and ultimately our financial and personal well-being. You do not need to submit to healthcare administrators and your doctor overlords. You do not have to take the measly salary. You do not have to work 50 to 60 hours a week. There is a different way, and I'm here to show you that path. This podcast is raw and unfiltered. I have not talked to the nurse practitioners in this podcast prior to the call outside of an email exchange to schedule the episode. What you're about to listen to is a consultation session between a nurse practitioner and myself. It is real, it is unscripted, it is unplanned, and I have no idea what we're going to talk about. Anything and everything can happen during our conversation. The nurse practitioners in these episodes are struggling with an issue in their professional or financial life, and they have reached out to me for help. My goal is to help the nurse practitioner with actionable advice that will enhance and improve their professional, business, and financial life. My other goal is to hopefully help my nurse practitioner sisters and brothers build a more productive, powerful, and free life. So I hope the content and information within these podcast episodes does just that. All right, onto the episode. Hello, everyone. Today we'll be talking to Sarah, who is a registered nurse, but is finishing up her nurse practitioner program in a few months. She currently owns an aesthetic practice and plans to add weight loss and hormone replacement therapy once she gets her nurse practitioner license. She's needing assistance with new service integration, finding new office spaces, and marketing. Hey, Sarah, how are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Thanks for hopping on here. So, just tell me kind of what's going on. So you're a registered nurse now, going to nurse practitioner school. So just kind of walk me through, the last few years as a registered nurse and kind of just what your experience has been and why you decided to go to NP school.
Sure. So I have been a registered nurse for just about 5 years now. Prior to that, and then part of my nursing background is in the operating room. About 4.5 years ago, I started working in aesthetics. I worked for another medical spa for a couple years. I learned a lot about what I did not want to be doing on the business side of things. So left there about 2.5 years ago, opened up my own practice. In Indiana, I am the sole owner. Nurses are able to own practices. So I run that and am finishing up nurse practitioner school. I'll be an FNP, get my license in the next 5 or 6 months. And then, like you said, just want to add in some more medical services and broaden what I'm able to bring to our patients.
Cool. So how is how's the aesthetic practice going?
It's going well. Last year was our first full year in business. Gross revenue was about $230K for the year. Profit margins in aesthetics suck as it is, but business is flowing.
Yeah. How much are you making estimated?
After I pay myself kind of the reasonable salary, there's about $1,000 or $2,000 left over at the end of each month.
Yeah. Okay. So, I mean, you're making some money.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. Well, so you're finishing nurse practitioner program. You graduate in a few months.
Yep.
Okay. Did you go full-time, part-time? How many years have you been in NP school for
now? Full-time. So, it'll be 2 years by the end of it. So currently, for about the past almost a year, I've only been seeing aesthetic patients about a day or two a week. So obviously revenue's slowed down there, but it's still moving.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So your plan is it's going to finish nurse practitioner school and then sit for the boards and whatever.
Yep.
When do you take the certification exam? Are you planning on taking it like as soon as you graduate? Are you going to wait a little while? What's your plan there?
No, I'm planning to roll just as soon as I can. So my classes finish in February, so 5 months from now, and then hope to be, within the month or as soon as I can take boards.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm kind of a knockout done.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Just get that shit done.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, just get that shit done. I remember when I graduated NP school, I literally went into my AANP exam literally like 1 to 2 weeks after I
Yeah,
graduated.
hell yeah. That's it. I'm like, can I register now? Like, let's just go.
Absolutely. Just register and get it over with. Like these people who are like, I'm going to study for
Sitting
3 to 6 months. It's like
No.
all of this stuff is fresh on your mind. Just get it over with.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
yeah, like I'll be honest with you. I thought the AANP exam was so easy. Like I think I finished at 75 questions and it took me an hour. Like,
And then you're like, that's it. We're good.
yeah, like I honestly thought it was kind of a joke.
Perfect. I'll take that one.
Yeah, like it was so easy. It was nothing. So don't lose sleep over it, okay? Don't
Yep.
don't listen to other people. Like if you start reading online or start listening to other people, about how hard it was, etc. Yeah, the reason why they're saying it is because it was hard for them, but you don't hear from the people like me who took it, a
And
week
just
after they
crush
graduated,
it.
got 75 questions and passed. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
Well,
yeah,
and I'm so excited about what's coming in my business. I'm not going to sit around and wait. I'm not looking for a job. I'm like ready to roll. So
right.
let's go.
So just get it done. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. All right. So you're gonna get your MP license, you're gonna get done. So you should, in theory, probably be licensed within like a month, 2 months,
Sure.
maybe at max.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should be able to roll just like, a couple months after you graduate. So anyways, though, what is it that you're needing assistance with particularly from this?
So I think just how to roll this out. So like you mentioned, the hormone replacement. I'm specifically interested in like the sexual medicine side. I would love to see like couples together, and just kind of like optimize relationships and help with that. So I don't know how to transition from all of my marketing and all the education I do on Instagram and everything is aesthetics. And then when do I just show up and I'm like, hey, now let's talk about your perimenopause mood changes, or you know what I mean? Like, how do I kind of do that transition, and when is the right time to start that?
Don't complicate it. Just literally start offering it. Like don't overthink this. Like, I mean, you have an aesthetics practice, hormone replacement therapy and weight loss complement those, right? So
Yeah.
don't overthink this. Just integrate it and start marketing it. Like, go ahead and start putting ads up in your lobby. Start telling patients, hey, listen, this is what we're offering. Like, just integrate it and and be done with it. Like take one of our courses or whatever on hormone replacement therapy or weight loss or whatever. Get all the accounts with the compounding pharmacies, et cetera, and just start rolling. Like right now, let me ask you: Are you going to be independent as a nurse practitioner in your state, or are you going to have a collaborator?
I'll have a collaborator.
Okay, so what I would do right now, in the meantime, to like start prepping for this,
Yeah.
is I would just like in the next few months get everything ready. Okay,
Okay.
like take one of our courses, whatever. Get
Yeah. And
the
I've done
company.
both the men's and women's basics, and they've
Okay,
been phenomenal.
okay.
And plan to get the advanced ones as well.
Yeah. Okay, so then you should be good to go. So sign up for the accounts. Get the accounts situated. Get like your protocol situated. Get your pricing. Like get everything ready. And then as
Okay.
soon as the day that you get your license, you click a button and you're ready to rock and roll.
And it's on. Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Do you think there's any, and this is other questions, but any benefit to having a local compounding pharmacy versus like one of the bigger national ones? Do you think there's any
I mean, there's some advantages of a local one. Sometimes the local one can be a little bit better in terms of customer service goes, but
Okay.
the downside with local smaller compounding pharmacies is that they might not have as many options for various hormones and medications, peptides, etc.
Sure.
And if they are running short on something, then, kind of what do you do?
Kind of shit out of luck on that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So,
That makes sense.
yeah. So that can be one of those,
Yeah.
I mean, you could try it. You could give it a shot and see how it goes. But I would recommend getting at least 2 or 3 other accounts, even with some of the big guys, because
Okay.
if, for example, the small local compounding pharmacy is like, oh shit, listen, we're out of testosterone, we're not getting it for another 2 or 3 weeks, then what do you do? You know what I mean?
Right. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, at my men's health clinic, we order from, 3 or 4 compounding pharmacies on a regular basis, like depending on availability, pricing, shipping times, processing times, et cetera. Like we rotate through compounding pharmacies literally on a weekly basis. Okay.
Okay.
So, So yeah, kind of just keep that in mind.
Okay. When that time comes to push the go button, I picture doing some sort of event, grand opening, whatever, talk to me about naming. And I've been through your podcast and I know business name should include service line. Right now we're like, your generic noun and then aesthetic med spa and aesthetic injectables. I don't know if I should do multiple. I've thought about if I just do like medical wellness, if that kind of encompasses all the things and people will understand what that means. Or do you think it needs to be even more specific than that?
I would honestly probably just kind of rename and rebrand your practice.
Okay.
I would probably just get rid of the med spa name.
Okay.
Maybe say, like whatever noun it is that your clinic is,
Yep.
that wellness or something. And then underneath it is subheading, aesthetics,
Sure.
hormone replacement therapy, weight loss, and just like leave it at that.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what I would do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I think we're well known enough for aesthetics in the area that when people see that name initially, that they'll understand that it's still both.
Yeah. I mean, you could just say something like, whatever the noun is. I'm assuming you
Yeah.
probably want to maintain your privacy here. So whatever the noun is, you could say wellness and aesthetics.
Sure.
If you want to maintain aesthetics as one of your primary service lines, then by all means, keep that in the name.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. If you want to transition more to weight loss, hormone replacement therapy, more of those medical services, then, by all means, just change it to wellness or whatever and focus on those things, because HRT and weight loss will definitely be more profitable from a time perspective.
Oh my God. Yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah, like aesthetics
so much damn time with these people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
It's so procedural. It takes so much time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Like weight loss is, hey, 30-minute visit, coolest sandwich away. Here's your semaglutide. See you in 3 months.
Yeah.
It's easy.
Yeah. The same thing with the business or the Google business listing. I've got all these reviews that are specific to aesthetics. Do you think that matters? Or just take that same Google business listing, slap the new name on it, and just let it be and keep all those 5-star reviews?
Oh, hell yeah. Keep that. Yeah, absolutely. Keep that. It's an asset of yours. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. I've worked hard for those.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't change that. No way.
Okay,
Don't
just
do
change that name and okay.
Yeah, yeah. And then your website, get in there and start adding the the other services to your main homepage, create different pages, the navigation bar for all that.
Yeah, I could get that all built out now and then just wait to publish it until we're
exactly build it out and just let it sit there. And then as soon as you're ready to go, publish, boom. And then like the day that you get your license, go in there and change your Google business listing name.
Flip the switch and yeah.
So just, I feel like that, you have 5 months ahead of you here that you could literally have everything ready to go. And then you just pull the trigger and then boom, you start seeing weight loss in HRT patients. And remember, marketing to current patients is the cheapest way to basically get patients to fall into those new service lines. You don't have to necessarily advertise a lot outside of your current patient base. So you could get your feet wet, so to speak, at first. Get your feet wet. Get your feet wet and just market to your current patients. Figure out the flows, start getting comfortable with the HRT and the weight loss, et cetera. Do that for a month or two. And then you can pull the trigger and start getting new patients coming in.
Yeah. I like that because I've already got that relationship. They already trust me, all the things that with the existing patients.
Right. Exactly.
Cool.
Yeah.
What else? I think another big decision I need to make is location and space. So right now I rent one room that's like in the back of a upscale hair salon and it's worked really well for now. But, some transition needs to happen. I don't know if I want to stay nearby. I feel like I've established myself kind of in this area. I'm like downtown in our capital city, but it's expensive. Or if I want to go out more to suburb a little bit, do you have thoughts on once you're kind of established in one area, if it'd be detrimental to move?
Well, I mean, why do you particularly want to move? First off, like, what's the reason?
The biggest reason right now, I don't have my own like physical front door. I don't have a front desk. I literally have one room.
Okay.
So I think just bringing on, if I brought on somebody else, like another person to see more of the aesthetics patients. I'd want us to be able to run multiple rooms at a time. I'd like to have a front door, just kind of more legitimate, especially once I feel like I'm practicing medicine for real
Yeah.
versus just a rented room in the back.
Right. Yeah. If
It's
you
kind
want
of
to do a lot
hard
of HRT and weight loss and aesthetics separately, that kind of a thing, then yeah, maybe a bigger space would be ideal. With finding that space, definitely prioritize getting a spot that's either in a better part of town on a main road, that sort of a thing. Like,
Okay.
make sure that you make that move worthwhile. Like, if you can be somewhere on a main road and have a sign on that main road or something, you're going to get a lot of just like walk-in traffic.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
that makes sense.
yeah. So think of it, even if it's on a main road and it's extra $500 a month, then, whatever. Like, think of that $500 as more or less a part of your marketing budget because people are just going to drive by and walk in.
Okay, that visibility is worth that. Yeah.
So, any questions there?
No, I think that makes sense. And that's just something also that, I'm getting excited and looking ahead but that's not a need right at this moment.
Yeah. Yeah, I would probably wait till you get maybe like 100 HRT weight loss patients under your belt and then roll with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Seems reasonable.
All right. I hope everyone's enjoying the episode so far. I just wanted to take a quick break to thank everyone listening and also give a big thank you to all of my social media followers and email subscribers. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe to our email list at www.elitenp.com and make sure to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Email subscribers will receive updates on new weekly podcast episodes, multiple weekly articles we publish, new courses, and everything else related to helping you succeed. Remember, all Elite Nurse Practitioner courses are designed to help you build a niche practice, increase your financial strength, and to break free from the rat race. If I can break free and that other countless nurse practitioners can break free, then so can you. Additionally, please share this podcast with your other nurse practitioner sisters and brothers out there. The more NPs that venture out on their own, the stronger our profession will become. Now, let's get back to the episode.
What else you want to talk about? You said you need maybe some help with marketing.
So aesthetics, I feel like I market well. We kill it on Google Business, like the Google paid ads, search ads. What do you think are good referral sources early on for like the HRT, weight loss, like those services? Do you think Google search ads are where it's at for that too?
For the most part, yeah. I mean, I think Google search ads are a good way to extract hot leads, people who are searching for you. Yeah. Because people who want HRT or weight loss or whatever, I mean, they kind of know they want it. And so you just need to make sure that you get that hot lead. Like they're searching for it. So now it's time to get it. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I would just do a Google search ad, make sure your Google business listing is updated with new services, et cetera. Make sure your website's up to date with all your new services, et cetera. And, how much competition do you have?
Aesthetics has a lot, but we rank number one. As far as like the HRT, even the whole functional space is not a lot. And we have, within my office, within 20 minutes, there's probably 1.5 to 2 million people. So not a lot.
Yeah. You could consider a billboard for a few months just to kind of get the word out.
Yeah.
I do think billboards still have a place. They can be a little expensive, but it's just a good way to just put the word out into the community.
Yeah. And you like that kind of as a short-term plan, is that right? Kind of
exactly, just like 3
push.
or 4 months, just blast it out so people know that you're there. If you can get a billboard on a fairly busy road, after 3 or 4 months, I would say a large percentage of the people in the area will see it.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So, it might cost you a couple $1,000s a month.
Yeah.
But, it should pay for itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Then I think the big other kind of category I want to talk about is pricing structures. I know you like memberships. Do you think it's also worth having a la carte options if people don't want to do a monthly membership?
Yeah, I mean, you can give them that option, So what I do at my men's health clinic,
Yeah.
they can either go monthly, they can pay the $140 a month, whatever it is, for their testosterone replacement therapy, $300 a month for weight loss, whatever. And they can just pay monthly and they get, typically about 6 weeks worth of the prescription at a time.
Okay.
They can do that. Or if they want to buy, a vial that lasts 3 months, then they can just go ahead and buy the 3 month, supply. It's basically the same price as the monthly membership, just multiplied by how many months it is. And I, shave 5 or 10% off it.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. And you don't
Yeah.
typically include labs in yours?
I don't. A lot of places do, but I don't know. I really don't.
Okay.
I like to offer my patients the ability to use their insurance.
Oh,
So,
yeah. Okay.
yeah, I feel like that if you allow your patients to use insurance, then it allows them to afford the actual money maker. Like you make some money with labs, but you're not going to make a lot of money with labs. You're making money off the comeback. You're out, you're making the money off the prescription, the people coming back long term. You're not making that much off of labs. I mean, sure, it can be a nice additional revenue source, but you're making the money off the HRT and the weight loss. So in my opinion, let them use their insurance for the lab work. And now, that might just be enough for them to afford, the big money maker for you, the semaglutide.
Sure. And if somebody's, twisted up on they can't use insurance, but then they're able to for labs, that feels good to some people that, they can or whatever.
Right.
Okay. What are your thoughts on pricing on website? Do you like that, or do you think that's a thing you'd rather them call and find out pricing?
Kind of a double-edged sword. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of people think that being transparent with the pricing on the website will reduce the amount of phone calls and inquiries that to your practice.
Yeah.
But also it can scare people away that you might have been able to convince over the phone.
Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
at my men's health clinic, we don't list the prices. I want them to call. Like I want them to explain, to my medical assistant, my receptionist, what they're looking for, what's going on, et cetera. And then we basically sell them on it.
Got
And
it.
then to them, the price is like, oh, okay, well, that's not that bad for everything that I'm getting because now we explain it.
Yeah. Because then it's a conversation. It's not just them looking at that.
Correct.
When did you know you needed a medical assistant?
Or
when you
I hired a medical assistant right from the start.
Okay.
Yeah. Just because I knew right from the start that I didn't want to do everything myself. I didn't want to be there doing everything.
Yeah.
Like, I just did it. You know what I mean?
Oh,
So
yeah.
I hired one right from the get-go because I was like, I don't want to answer phones. I don't want to order meds. I don't want to do the injections. I don't want to do all this busy bullshit work,
Yeah.
Yeah. So I hired a medical assistant just right from the get-go. So,
Yeah.
for you, it really just depends on your budget. I mean, you could
Sure.
wait a few months and see, oh shit, I'm drowning here doing a bunch of this busy work. So let's go ahead and hire someone. So it's up to you and your budget. I mean, giving it a couple months is not necessarily a bad idea, but if you start getting really busy and you start drowning, then I mean, you're going to be pretty stressed.
Yeah.
So I guess it's one of those, if you really think you're going to get busy and you really think it's going to succeed, then it might be worth, be worth just hiring someone and nipping that in the ass before it becomes a problem.
Yeah. Okay. What else am I missing? Oh, when you do your initial appointments, do you charge some sort of consult fee, or what is your recommendation on that, like initial appointment before they're on the membership?
So yeah, like I charge like an initial fee that includes the first month of treatment.
Oh, okay. So
that way they feel, like they're getting a really good value. Like, don't expect to make much money from the initial evaluation in the first month of treatment. Like, I see it as more or less, let's just get them in the door and then we make the money on the comeback. We make the money after that first month.
Okay.
So for me, we charge us $200, $200 for
Sure.
the initial evaluation. It takes 30 to 60 minutes. $200, and it also includes the first month of treatment. So you're going to get your first 30-day supply of testosterone, injections, supplies, and estradiol if you need it, blah, 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 whatever. Okay.
Okay.
So that's what we do. a lot of places charge a lot more for that, but I feel like that if you can just lower that barrier as much as possible, just get them in the door and start treatment. Because if you can get them to start treatment, they're going to stick around. Like very, very few people will just try it for a month and leave. Like,
yeah, for sure.
Very
it
few
feels so
people
good.
do that.
Yeah. Okay. What am I missing? What do you think like biggest downfalls people have when they start, adding service lines or anything like that? Is there anything big and glaring that you tend to see that people miss or aren't well planned for?
I think one of the big things that people don't account for is that they don't take marketing serious. But in your case, you have an established patient base already. So like for you, I would just save your money on marketing for the first few months and just, like I said, it's always more effective. It's always cheaper to market to your current patients than it is to get new patients. Because, if you do the math on patient acquisition costs, like how much money does it cost to get a patient in the door and have them pay you? Like how much does that cost? Right?
Yeah.
On average, typical patient acquisition costs for hormone replacement therapy clinic or weight loss clinic or whatever, can be between $40 and $100. Like it's going to cost you $100 in marketing to get one patient in the door, right?
Yep. Okay.
For your established patients, it costs nothing.
Right.
Right. So email them, send them a letter, have brochures, pamphlets in there, talk to them, like maximize that first before you start marketing outside. That's why I said give it 2 or 3 months. Another thing that some people do is they spend too much money marketing and then they start drowning. Like they're marketing the services and then they can't deliver it because they're so busy that they, or they are making mistakes ordering from compounding pharmacies, et cetera. Like they didn't get their feet wet. They didn't like work the kinks out at first. And then they're drowning. And now you spend all this money on marketing patients and then they get all pissed off and you lost that patient forever.
Yeah. And then they're talking about how the service was shitty and they're not doing good referrals and
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah. So another big thing too is just maximize those Google reviews on every single person. Like incentivize them. If you leave us a 5-star Google review right now at checkout, we will give you 10% off.
Okay.
Do that. Have them do it right in front of you on their phone.
Yep. I like that.
Yeah. Like,
ours usually come, as like a follow-up, I'll check in a week or two and then ask then. But having them do it in the moment.
Exactly right.
Would be better.
Yep. Exactly. I think that's pretty much it. Like, don't do anything you're uncomfortable with. I mean, you're a brand new nurse practitioner.
Yep.
HRT, weight loss, these little niche services, they're not difficult. They're pretty easy to do. There's not really a whole lot to it,
Sure.
So just take it easy. Don't overwhelm yourself. And if you're doing something that makes you feel uncomfortable, refer it out to someone else. Like taking on a patient who's a train wreck, it's not worth the $150 profit. It's just, it's not worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like we get patients that come in the door at my men's health clinic who have like A1Cs of 12, their blood pressures 180 over 100. Get the hell out of here. There's no way I'm treating you. Like, no way. Like, go get your shit fixed first and then come back. Like,
Okay.
Yeah. So just be cautious. Like, pick your battles wisely.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I don't think so. I think we ran through everything I wanted to. My biggest concerns were just how to make the transition when it's time.
Yeah. Just don't complicate it.
Just do it.
Don't complicate it. This isn't complicated. Like, just get it all ready over the next few months. And as soon as you get your license, boom, just start doing it. Don't complicate it.
Yeah. And I'm so type A that's probably my biggest downfall is over analyzing everything.
Right. Exactly. So just get it done. Don't overthink it. Overthinking this stuff will just paralyze you, basically. There's no point in worrying about a bunch of what ifs. There's no point about worrying about, things that happened in the past with you. things that you might have heard that's happened to other providers who prescribe weight loss medication or whatever. Like,
Yep.
don't let that stuff paralyze you, because at the end of the day, if something's going to happen, something bad's going to happen or whatever, is probably going to happen anyways. So just
Sure.
don't waste your mental energy on it.
Yep. I love it.
Any other questions?
Not now. I'm sure
Yeah.
more will come up in 6 months from now when we get rolling.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if that's the case, shoot me an email and we can do a follow-up. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'd like to end the episode with you asking me a question. Do you have a question for me? Personal curiosity, anything like that?
What business mistake do you think has cost you the most money?
Oh boy.
And not your first practice that you shut down. That was a learning experience.
Correct. The biggest mistake I made was I was selling a business, and I was selling to someone that I just felt like wasn't aligned with
Oh,
me.
yeah.
Yeah, and I was kind of locked into a contract, and I had to pay a very, very hefty fine to get out of it. So that hurt. That was a lot of money. Like,
that stupid tax that they talk about.
the stupid tax, correct? Like, it was no joke. Like, I could have bought a house with that money. Like,
Ugh.
it was.
Makes you want to vomit. Yeah.
Yeah, so anytime you sign a contract with someone, you make sure that you have a good lawyer who's reviewing that stuff and making sure that you understand what you're getting into and you understand worst case scenarios, et cetera. Like, I was a little careless about it. I reviewed the contract, and I kind of had a shitty lawyer that, to be honest with you, kind of fucked me. So learning lesson, so that was probably one of my biggest business mistakes that cost me a lot of money. But,
so do you use like a contract lawyer for that sort of thing, or somebody in the specialty, or what do you think to review contracts?
It really depends on what it is. I mean, if you're selling a business, you would use a mergers and acquisitions lawyer,
Yeah, okay.
If you were
Just
using
depends on this.
Yeah. If you were using, if you were just, an employment contract with someone or whatever, sure, just a standard, contract business lawyer would be fine,
Yeah.
So it really just depends on the context of what it is.
Yeah. Cool.
All right. Well, this was a good episode. Hit a lot of good points. So I wish you the best of luck. Let me know how it goes. Shoot me an email if you want to do a follow-up. And I think you'll probably do okay. I mean, you already got a pretty successful practice. You're going to get your nurse practitioner license. You're getting ready to integrate 2 profitable services, weight loss and HRT. And I just think that you're probably going to do pretty well. So I don't see how it couldn't succeed.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your time.
All right. No problem. Take care. Good luck.
Bye.
All right, bye. All right, I hope everyone enjoyed the episode with Sarah. She already has an aesthetics practice. She's getting her nurse practitioner license. She's getting ready to integrate 2 highly profitable service lines, weight loss and HRT. I think she'll probably do very well. I think the big thing here, guys, is always maximize what you have right in front of you. Like, always maximize your current patient base. Like, market to your current patients, okay? If you're integrating a new service line, sell it to your new patients first before going outside and marketing, because marketing to your current patients is free. Marketing outside can be very, very expensive. So use what you can right in front of you. All right, hope everyone enjoys this episode. Talk to you guys later. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you for listening to the show. Quick legal disclaimer. The content of this podcast is meant for informational and entertainment purposes only and should not be used as legal, financial, medical, regulatory, or practice-specific advice. For information pertaining to your specific legal, financial, medical, or practice-specific needs, please be sure to consult with your lawyer, CPA, medical director, and/or your state's practice laws and the most up-to-date clinical guidelines. As always, do your due diligence when it comes to any information found online and in podcasts. The content in this podcast is copyrighted by Galaxy Medical Southwest 2023 and cannot be duplicated, rebroadcasted, or reproduced without our written permission.